Real name: Tyson Michael Gerald. Profession: he stole his wallet when he was 12 in 1978 and sent the boy to hospital at the age of 13, and when he met boxing there, he studied under the name of Coach Cass Damat. He left a record 25 wins and 5 losses in the AMA and made his professional debut in March '85. Since then, the weight of 180 cm, small but medium heavyweight and excellent throwing power, continues to shoot with excellent sensation in boxing, defeating Trevor Barbic in November 1998 and winning the WBC World Heavyweight. Youngest world champion at 20 years and 4 months. In August 1987, he defeated Tony Tucker, USA, and won the WBA and IBF titles. King unification of the heavyweight 3 throne for the first time in 9 years, and has successfully defended 9 times. In February '90, he recorded 37 consecutive wins until he lost to rival James Dacres, USA, in a defensive match held at Tokyo Dome. However, there are as many subjects as rioters, such as assaults outside the ring, and in March 1992, she was imprisoned with $30,000 fines to 6 years in prison for assaulting women. Source: March 1995. We decorated with a white star for the first time in 4 years and 2 months in August in Las Vegas. Defeated Buster Massis Jr., United States, in December, and returned in full. March 1989 won WBC World Heavyweight Champion Frank Bruno, UK, TKO and regained his first title in 6 years. In September, he defeated World Heavyweight Champion Bruce Seldon, USA, and reunited for the heavyweight title, but the WBC stripped the throne. She loses to former unification champion Evander Holyfield, USA, in November and loses the WBA title. In June '97, he tried again at Holyfield, but ended up dropping defeat 3 times in a foul that stole his right ear and is unheard of in boxing history. The July Nevada Commission will award an unlimited license bar and a $3 million fine. In January 1999, he won a KO of former FIFA champion Francois Botha, South Africa, in a heavyweight titleless match, the first time he's been back in a year and a half. In February of the same year, he was convicted to 2 years in prison sentenced by a Montgomery County, Maryland, district court in a traffic accident in '98, and was released on probation in May 1999. January 2000 TKO won a no-title match against British heavyweight champion Julius Francis and advanced to Europe. In October, TKO won a no-title match against Andrew Golota, Poland, but he refused a doping test and became ineffective. In June 2002, WBC, IBC-AFC Champions League champion Lennox Lewis, UK, challenged a KO but lost. In June 2005, he lost 6 TKOs in a no-title match against Kevin McBride, Ireland, and was nearly retired. Total score 58 games 50 wins, 44 KO, 6 losses 2 NC. In the right-handed fighter, I was good on the left hook and right on the right. Muhammad Ali emerged as a comet on the heavyweight front in the 1980s, which was in a slump, and earned the nickname Iron Mike, with unparalleled power. Fighting money earned in 20 years is said to be about $300 million. December 2010 was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. A special appearance in the 2001 movie, Crocodile Dundee in LA. Overview. Michael Gerard Tyson, born June 30, 1966, is an American former professional boxer who competed from 1985 to 2005. He is the undisputed world heavyweight champion and holds the record as the youngest boxer to win a heavyweight title at 20 years, 4 months and 22 days old. Tyson won his first 19 professional fights by knockout or stoppage, 12 of them in the first round. He won the WBC title in 1986 after stopping Trevor Berbick in the second round, and added the WBA and IBF titles after defeating James Smith and Tony Tucker in 1987. Making Tyson the first heavyweight boxer to hold the WBA, WBC, and IBF titles simultaneously, the only heavyweight to unite them straight. Tyson became a streak champion in 1988 when Michael Spinks was knocked out in 91 seconds of the first round. He has successfully defended his titles 9 times, which included victories over Larry Holmes and Frank Bruno. In 1990, Tyson lost the titles to jerk Buster Douglas, who knocked him out in the 10th round. In an effort to regain the titles, Tyson defeated Donovan Ruddock twice in 1991, but withdrew from a fight with the undisputed heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield, who defeated Douglas later in 1990, due to a rib injury. In 1992, Tyson was convicted of rape and sentenced to 6 years in prison, but was released on parole after serving 3 years. After his release in 1995, he participated in a series of comeback fights. He won the WBC and WBA titles in 1996, after Frank Bruno and Bruce Seldon were suspended. After his defeat by Bruno, Tyson joined Floyd Patterson, Muhammad Ali, Tim Witherspoon, Evander Holyfield and George Foreman as the only men in boxing history to regain the heavyweight championship after losing it. After being stripped of the WBC title the same year, Tyson lost the WBA title to Evander Holyfield after an 11th round pitfall. The 1997 rematch ended when Tyson was disqualified for biting Holyfield's ears. In 2002, Tyson fought for the world heavyweight title again at the age of 35, losing by knockout to Lennox Lewis. Tyson retired from professional boxing in 2006, after knocking out in back-to-back matches against Danny Williams and Kevin McBride. Tyson declared bankruptcy in 2003, despite receiving more than $30 million for many of his fights and $300 million over his career. At that time the media reported that he had nearly $23 million in debt. Tyson was known for his fierce and intimidating boxing style as well as his controversial behavior both in and out of the ring. Nicknamed Iron and Kid Dynamite early in his career, and later known as the baddest man on the planet, Tyson is one of the best heavyweights of all time. Tyson holds the third longest unified title in heavyweight history with 8 consecutive defenses. He is currently number 15 in the BoxRec ranking of the greatest heavyweight boxers in history. He was ranked number 16 on Ring's list of the 100 greatest boxers of all time, and number 1 on ESPN.com's toughest hitters in heavyweight history list. Sky Sports described him as probably the most ferocious fighter to ever enter the professional ring. He was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame and the World Boxing Hall of Fame. A video clip spread through social media, showing the American World Boxing Champion Mike Tyson praying in a cafe in the United States with the Swedish boxer Badou Jack, who won several World Boxing Championships. A large number of social media pioneers were surprised by the fact that Mike Tyson had converted to Islam, and from here we review the full story and how he declared his conversion to Islam and the reason behind his imprisonment. In an interview with one of the channels, Tyson said, "I took a vow to myself to observe the 5 daily prayers, to abide by the commands and prohibitions of God, and to be a true Muslim in my faith, sincere in my Islam and obedient to my Lord, hoping for his approval and forgiveness." Mike's name, and despite his name change, the media kept calling him Mike Tyson, as his conversion to Islam was a shock to America, and it was the same shock it was with Muhammad Ali's conversion to Islam in the 60s. If you benefited from this information, please and not an order, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell to receive all that is new, and like the video.
When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I